Okay, welcome. And we are at Dance Underground, and I'm very grateful to still be using this space. And hopefully, if you used to practice here, it kind of brings you a little snippet of the magic of this beautiful basement. And if you've been practicing, you know that I've been studying the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. This translation is by Sri Swami Satchidananda. Boop. It's like a blue book. He's wearing a beautiful pink robe. And we are on book 1, which is the portion on contemplation, Samadhipada. And we are on Sutra 1.4. So slowly chugging along here. And I can't believe that I decided to do this because there's like 200 sutras. This is going to take so long, but it's great. It's a good study. So Sutra 4, and I'm using the Guide to Sanskrit Pronunciation that's at the beginning of the book. So hopefully I'm saying these things okay. Vritti Sarupyam Ita Rutra. And vritti, which is in the first sutra or second sutra, is often translated as modification, as fluctuation, or like a thought wave. So that's vritti. And then sarupyam is, I found a few translations, assumes form, becoming one with form, identification with objects, and then the word sa itself is supposed to mean similar or with, and then rupyam is form or identification. And then the third word is it's a retra, and that I found to translate as at other times or in other states or otherwise or elsewhere, anywhere but samadhi. And the translation of the full sentence is, the seer takes on the identity of the fluctuations of the mind or thought patterns. When we are wrapped up in our thoughts, unable to stay present, we become our thoughts. Another translation I found was, we identify with something that is merely similar to our true nature, thus engendering a skewed perception. And then Sri Swami himself says, you seem to have lost your original identity and have identified with your thoughts and your body. There is nothing but energy everywhere. Even the atom is a form of energy. The same energy appears in different forms to which we also give different names. So the form and name are just different versions of the same energy. So that is the portion for contemplation before class. And I do like it because I often feel like we could have been born in just like any body. Like I just chanced ended up in this one. And ultimately, like underneath all the layers that we've built up over time, the hats that we wear, the identities that we've put on, and that we may enjoy some of those identities, we may hide from some of those identities. Underneath all those identities, like that is the true self, and it's all the same in everyone. And it does kind of remind me of the sutra right before that. But again, these sutras are really all linked. And if you were to read just the sutras, it would be a very, very, very short text. So now we learn one by one. And let's start with 1 Om. You can find a comfortable seat, anchoring the tail down, feeling the points of contact between the glutes and the ischial tuberosity, the sits bones, and the mat or the floor, wherever you're sitting. And with that anchoring sensation, that stable sensation of the base, letting the spine from there feel uplifted and sprung up. You can also make sure the shoulders check in there, make sure they're relaxed. And we'll do a couple clearing breaths in 1 Om. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale, HA. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale, HA, release. This time prepare for 1 Om. Inhale. Inhale in. And exhale, let the breath go. And we'll start on our backs today. Supta Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of the feet to touch. Legs kind of create a diamond shape. And you can bring one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. You can even shut down the eyes. And if you really want to make it extra relaxed, you can even put like books or blocks or pillows underneath the knees. And just taking a moment to initiate this practice. And taking in all the external, all the familiar and the extra familiar parts of our apartment that we never thought we would get to know, all the nooks and crannies and dust and clean surfaces and distractions that you know might take you out of your practice, knowing that they're going to be there. After that first layer, the physical layer, traveling inward and arriving at the breath. And the breath is always in relationship with the room that we're in, also the outdoors. We take in oxygen and we expel it as CO2, and then the plants, they do the opposite. So just thinking about that cyclical nature of the environment that we're in, noticing how it goes on in your body, the inflation of the belly and the diaphragm, the ribs, and then noticing how it deflates, how the diaphragm travels in the chest. And then arriving at the mind. And I've said this before in class, but since that sutra was particularly focused kind of on the many identities that we uphold, and I think, it's fun to sometimes have the identities. Sometimes they're things that you've worked for, or it's like how you connect with people in a community. And I think there are some identities that we kind of like to brush under the rug, or we don't want to shine our attention on, kind of more of our shadows. And all of that is perfectly normal and a part of each experience. But today, for this hour, leaving those identities on the sideline and just really being present with your practice and with your breath and noticing what the body asks and responding and letting that be the primary function of your practice. And at this point, I usually ask for consent in class, and I've kind of changed consent to self-consent. So when the body asks for a child's pose and a rekindling of breath, listening and letting that be what the body takes, the form. Or also for deepening assists, giving yourself your own deepening assists and twisting and turning postures, trying to thread your awareness and strengthen proprioception, sometimes through tactile touch, is really helpful. And then arriving at the Ujjayi breath, the upward victorious breath. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale, HA out of the mouth. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale, HA. This time, seal the lips. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale out through the nose. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. And using the Ujjayi breath. And always option to come back to Supta Baddha Konasana or Child's Pose or any of more yin-inspired posture at any point throughout class. And then over the next few breaths, closing the legs like you would close a book, maybe knocking them left to right, right to left. Gentle windshield wipers after a long hold like that. And hug the knees in towards your chest. Maybe roll around on the lower back, the flat part of your back, the sacrum. And find your way up into a tabletop. You can rock and roll up into a tabletop. If you have a super thin mat, I used to hate doing that when I had a thin mat, but if you have a thick mat, Might not bother you as much, or you can always come to all fours by just rolling off to one side. And arriving in a tabletop, stacking the shoulders over the wrists, the hips over the knees. And if you want to take this opportunity to start your playlist, you're more than welcome to do so right now. Crown of the head is shining forward and tailbone is back. And really rooting through the right palm, plugging in. Inhale, left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Stretching through the side body, left ribs over, right ribs under. And exhale, thread the needle. Send the hand through that little gateway you've created with your right arm in the floor. Right hand can go out long in front of you. You can wrap it around for a half bind. The hand can stay planted by the face. And if you've moved the right hand, go ahead and place it back by the face. Root through the right palm. Inhale, left fingertips back up, open twist. And exhale, plant the left palm down. Switching sides, this time rooting through the left palm. Plugging the whole hand, the whole surface area down. Inhale, right arm up, fingertips up towards the ceiling, opening, twisting. And exhale, thread the needle. Right cheek comes to the mat. And the right hand, palm can be face up. Sometimes it's fun to experiment with palm face down. The left arm, you can walk it out long and go for a half bind. Keep it by your face. And if you have moved the left palm, bringing it back by your face. Inhale, right fingertips up, stretching, twisting. And exhale, plant the right palm down. And we'll work through flexion and extension of the spine. Inhale, cow pose, drop the belly, lift the gaze. And exhale, cat pose, pressing, doming, rounding, tucking. Inhale, cow pose, opening, expanding. And exhale, cat pose, pressing, rounding. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cats. And go ahead and flow your own breath to movement. Perhaps you want to stick with the undulation of the spine, tilting back and forth. Maybe you want to add on some additional movements. Walking the arms out long in front of you, maybe for a melting heart, or if you want to rock through the hips, do a little side bending. Whatever it is the body is asking for, giving yourself that opportunity to listen and respond how you'd like, in accordance with the body's cravings. And over the next few breaths or so, we'll meet back in a neutral table. Inhale, tuck under the toes. And exhale, press back, downward facing dog, hips high, heels low. And taking a moment to paddle out the feet, bending one knee, the other knee. Noticing the belly of the muscles, the hamstrings. And then sending some awareness into the palms of the hands. Actively pressing down through each knuckle mound. Index finger is pointing forward. And you can imagine a suction cup there like you'd find in the shower. And also under the thumb, really keeping you rooted into the ground. Inhale, come onto your tippy toes. And exhale, bend your knees a lot so the tailbone is high up towards the ceiling. And then take a moment to scan the spine. You can start at the crown of the head. Notice the neck as it threads down near the rib cage, thoracic cavity, and all the way down to the sacrum, the lumbar spine, the tail. And trying to keep that sensation of lengthening in the vertebrae throughout your whole practice when you come back to down dog over and over again. You can slowly let the heels sink down. The legs can work towards straight. Never have to be all the way straight. And I think for years, I approached yoga as a practice of getting into a fixed shape or a mold that I thought was the ideal form, and approaching each posture now with the intention anatomically and also energetically, how it works for you with your anatomy. Coming back to Ujjayi, inhale in through the nose. Exhale, HA out of the mouth. Seal the lips, inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Walking the hands towards the feet, coming into ragdoll or forward fold here. Bring the feet hips width distance. You can invite a bend in the knees so the chest really feels like it's spilling over the legs, inviting the weight of gravity and the weight of your body to pull the body down. Taking any hand grip that is of your preference. You can grasp for opposite elbow, inviting a gentle sway into the torso. Maybe you want to thread the hands at the nape of the neck. Gives you a little extra weight. Or maybe you want to tap into the shoulders, access that range of motion, go for a shoulder expansion, thread the fingers behind you, fist up towards the ceiling. And if the eyes are closed, maybe opening them back up, taking in the environment. If the eyes are open, maybe shutting them down. What is it like to hang upside down? And if you've chosen any grip, you can release it, drop it down. And choose your feet for sun salutations. You can definitely toe heel the feet to touch, or if you prefer a little distance in between the feet, you can keep a little distance because sometimes that invites more of a sense of stability or structure into your class. Vertebrae by vertebrae, moving slowly and also in tension. Unroll and unfurl the spine and come to standing. When you arrive at the top, it might feel good to roll the shoulders back, roll the shoulders forward a few times. And arriving at Samastiti, same or equal on all sides standing posture. And today, shifting the weight all the way into your toes, like you're gonna flop into a pool, but don't. And then shifting the weight back into your heels, like you're gonna teeter over backwards, not falling. And then coming back to center, going all the way towards the left. What is the side of your foot like? And then come back to center, going all the way towards the right. And even the difference between the left and the right foot when you do this motion. And then coming back towards center and finding the plumb line, the point where we calibrate and return to again and again. And I always like to leave space for intention because I find it to be a really powerful practice. And your intention can be to be at attention throughout this whole practice. It's inviting this idea of samastiti into your body and your physical form. Or if you'd like it to be a little more energetic, I mean, it can also be in theme with our sutra today, letting the identities go and just arriving, being here as yourself. Or maybe there's something you're already cultivating. Maybe you want to make it that, an I am or an I have statement, whatever it is, let that mean something to you. Inhale, breathe that in. And exhale, release it out. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms up. Circle sweep the arms up overhead. And pause here since it's the first time we've been here. And actively pressing the feet into the mat and tapping into the arches of our foot. This might engage the legs, create a gentle lift in the kneecaps. You can also engage the bandhas here. The bandhas are really fun practice. You can even, that could be a theme itself throughout class. You could try to activate the bandhas in each pose. Mula bandha, contraction of the pelvic floor, and Uddiyana bandha, bringing the belly button back towards the spine. Again, this idea of playing with the atmospheric pressure in the room and in the world, and also what you're intaking in your body, and then releasing back out. Inhale, find length. And exhale, cactus the arms, baby back bend, shine the sternum up, maybe tilt the head back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. You can swan dive down or hands through heart center. And we're gonna move our way into a crouch and curl sensation. So elevating the heels, sinking the hips down low, and bringing the chest to meet the thighs, perhaps touching the forehead to the knees. And using the hands like little kickstands or creating kind of a tripod with your own body. And really actively sending the awareness into your feet. I taught this in class last week as well. I think it really helped me activate the sensation in my arches, what those feel like. And then that sensation can kind of follow you throughout your practice. And sink the heels back down. Inhale, halfway lift, reset the spine, lengthen the vertebrae, crown of the head forward. Always good option to bend the knees. And exhale, forward folds. We'll do a halfway lift one more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward folds. One more. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, top of a push-up, Dandasana, staff pose. Always option to come down to the knees because that helps create more structure in your foundation, helps build strength in the arms. Crown of the head forward. You can invite that idea of samastiti and also actively press through the palms of your hands. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Flatten the tops of the feet to the mat and zip the legs together like you have one long cobra tail. Arms are grazing the rib cage. Inhale, cobra pose. Lift the head, neck, and chest. Press the tops of the feet into the mat, tops of the thighs. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower back down. Last time, inhale, cobra pose, Bhujangasana. And exhale, lower back down. Inhale, tabletop. And exhale, press back. Downward facing dog, hips high, heels low. And paddle out the feet, wag the tail. Turn the head, yes, no. And coming back to Ujjayi, inhale in through the nose. And exhale out through the nose. Inhale, look to the front. Exhale, walk, jump, float, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reset your spine. And exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, rise with your breath, arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms, shine the sternum up, maybe tilt the head back. It feels safe in the neck. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, crouch and curl. Elevate the heels. Let the hips drop down, let the spine round. You can even tuck the chin. You can even access Jalantara Bandha here too, the throat seal. And let the heels sink down. Inhale, halfway lift, reset the spine. Exhale, top of a push-up, Dandasana, staff pose. Again, always option to come down to the knees for more stability and structure. I am gonna go ahead and cue us through a Vinyasa flow, kind of the traditional way, and you can go ahead and try that on right now, and then you can switch it up after if you're looking for something different. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down halfway, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. Legs are elevated, heart is shining forward. And exhale, press back, down dog. Hips high, heels low. And there's so many good ways to practice your version of up to your version of down. You can do cobra at a table to down dog like we did at the beginning of class. You can also access chaturanga from your knees. You can also practice like a dolphin dog if you're looking to alleviate wrist pain or you're looking to build forearm strength. Dolphin dog's kind of like this. Or you could hang out in plank. Whatever it is that's going to suit your practice today. I personally will be skipping chaturanga just to kind of save my breath as I teach, but you are welcome to join me in skipping it. And I can switch, it doesn't have to be the same thing every time. Coming back to Ujjayi, inhale in through the nose. And exhale out through the mouth. Seal the lips, inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Inhale, look to the front. And exhale, walk, jump, float, skip, stumble. Inhale, halfway lift, reset your spine, lengthen the vertebrae. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms, baby back bend. Shine the sternum, the heart up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, dive down or hands through heart center. Inhale, halfway lift, reset the spine. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, cobra. Exhale, press back. Downward facing dog, hips high, heels low. Come back to the Ujjayi breath. Inhale in through your nose. Exhale out through your nose. Inhale, look to the front. Exhale, walk, jump, float, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reset your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, fierce pose, awkward chair, thunderbolt. It's got so many names. Plugging the weight into your heels, sinking the weight into your hips. Tail can flare here, accessing the lower curve of your back. Chest is lifting. Arms can be up. Hands can also be at heart center. And taking a moment to arrive into this deeply uncomfortable and intense posture. It's a squat, and it's also the first one we do in class. So I feel like it's the place where we initially meet resistance. We're like, oh, why are we doing this? Let me out of this thing. I could be sitting on my couch with my cat. Like, why? And that's when the mind gets really loud, and it's part of the layers what go on. Mind thinks, it chatters, and it's easy to associate, but also this is temporary. And let's just be here in this intensity, right along with it. Inhale, find length. And exhale, release, forward fold, and it is over. Inhale, halfway lift, reset the spine. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, Ujjayi. And exhale, Ujjayi. And honoring each day as truly a different day. Maybe you went on a run and the quads and the hamstrings are really, really tight today. Or there might be something that affected your practice, not comparing yourself to past versions, or comparing yourself to expectations or others. Like, this is your practice, you're on the right path, you're doing it, you're feeling it. Inhale, Ujjayi. And exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, right leg lifts. Reach, extend the right leg behind you. Exhale, scorpion dog. Bend the right knee. Right hip stacks over left hip. You can roll the ankle clockwise, counterclockwise. Oscillate the hip. Accessing the range of motion in the hip socket. It's going to be different for everyone. Inhale, reach, extend, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists, chest to chin. Inhale, three-legged dog, reach, extend. Exhale, right knee, right tricep, hinge forward. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right knee, left tricep. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right knee, left tricep again. And this time, pause, hover, and extend the right leg out so the knife edge or the blade side of your foot is extended. Plug through the right hand, actively pressing, and then roll to the outside edge of the left foot. Lift the left arm up, coming into fallen star, or I've heard this called fallen triangle. Fingertips are up towards the ceiling. This is super challenging. Actively pressing the hips up. Inhale here. Exhale, plant the left palm. Inhale, right leg lifts. Reach, extend the right leg behind you. Find stability. And exhale, step it through low lunge. Feet are on separate tracks. And you have to pick up the front foot leg to get it up there. It's a good way to do the practice, how you arrive. And go ahead and drop the back knee down, coming into this grounded form of crescent lunge. Plant through the left palm. Inhale, open, twist towards the right. Fingertips up towards the ceiling, right ribs over, left ribs under. And this could be a point where you really focus on the twisting and the turning. You could bring your hands to the outside of your torso and notice if you could bring the right ribs over a little more, or the soft part of the belly and the left ribs under. Inhale here. And exhale, plant the right palm down, framing the front foot. Inhale, arms up, coming into this grounded form of crescent. Biceps frame the ear. And noticing the compression in the right leg, the lengthening in the left, this complementary oppositional action that follows us throughout our whole practice. And exhale, sweep the arms behind you, so chest is pressing forward. And then bring the hands to the lower back. And finding the lower back, making our way into a supported, gentle back bend. Letting the sternum lift, maybe letting the head fall back if it feels safe in the neck. And slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, lifting back up through the spine. Releasing the arms at your side. Inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, plant the palms, frame the front foot. Inhale, tuck under your back toes. Exhale, engage the back leg. Inhale, crescent lunge. Anjaneyasana, arms up, chest lifts. And taking the time to set this up, you might need to create a little more distance in terms of width in between the legs. Sending awareness into the back left heel. Actively pressing through the left foot and sending the left heel towards the front, accessing that arch like we did in crouch and curl. You might have to scooch the right foot up after you've activated the arch and try and bring Samasthiti back. Right thigh is feeling it just as much as the top of the left thigh. Arms up. And exhale, open up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana. Spin the back heel down, 40-60 degrees. And right knee is tracking towards the outside edge of your pinky toe, practicing external rotation of the hip. Broadening through the collarbones and letting that expansion follow out through your arms as well. Inhale, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior. Left arm down, right arm up, stretching through the side body, the obliques keeping a deep bend in the front knee. Maybe even feeling the floating rib peel away from the pelvis. Inhale here. And exhale, straighten the front leg. Let the right arm fall down. Inhale, parallel your feet. And exhale, wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. Let the head hang. And on this first iteration, I will leave you to free form, letting the posture be an expression of your innate creativity. And I don't think we always need to create as humans. So if you need to rest, just rest, hang. But if you're kind of feeling inspired to flow or float or twist or lunge or invert, go there. Access that part of you that is directing you, that inner authority. Listen to it. And over the next 5 breaths or so, coming back to this wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reset your spine. And exhale, low lunge to the front. Right foot is forward, left leg is back. Inhale, right leg comes back to meet the left, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, cobra. Whatever that looks like for you in your practice. And exhale, come back. Downward facing dog, hips high, heels low. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, left leg lifts. Reach, extend the left leg behind you. Exhale, scorpion dog, stacking the left hip over the right hip. And taking free movement here. Figure eights in the hip. Rolling the ankle, left to right, right to left. Whatever feels good. Whatever is gonna open you up, clear away the fascia built up from the night before. Inhale, three-legged dog, reach, extend. And exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrist, chest to chin. Inhale, three-legged dog, reach, extend. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, left leg lifts, reach, extend. Exhale, left knee, right tricep, hinge forward. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left knee, right tricep again. Hover, pause, and extend the left leg out. So the knife side edge of the foot, the blade of the foot is on the mat. Roll to the outside edge of your right foot. Plant through the left palm, plug actively and press. And inhale, open up, palm star, right fingertips go up towards the ceiling. Actively pressing through the left palm, pressing the hips up too. Inhale here. Exhale, plant the right palm. Inhale, three-legged dog, reach, extend behind. And exhale, step it through, low lunge. If you gotta pick up the foot to get it up there, that's totally okay. Taking a moment to feel stable. Drop the back knee down for this grounded form of crescent lunge. Inhale, arms up, chest lifts, biceps frame the face. And taking a moment to arrive on this side, noticing sensation, maybe kind of pressing the hips forward so you can really feel the lengthening of the psoas and the compression right by the pelvis. Inhale, find length in the spine. And exhale, sweep the arms behind you, chest presses forward. And again, acknowledging any external distractions, recentering, coming back to your practice. And then bringing the hands to the lower back where we'll work into a gentle back bend. Shining the sternum up, maybe letting the head fall back. Accessing opening in the spine, in the chest. Lifting the chest, the head back up. Letting the arms fall down by your side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, plant the palms, frame the front foot. Tuck under the back toes. Inhale, engage the back leg. Exhale, find stability. Inhale, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, arms up, chest lifts. And taking a moment to set up this side just like you did the other. Maybe picking up the front toes, planting them back down, noticing all four corners of the feet. Engaging the bandhas here, Uddiyana, Mula Bandha. Inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, open up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana. Spin the back heel down. Maybe send the gaze over your middle finger and tapping into the energy of a warrior. Let this be powerful. And even trying to channel a figure or an icon or an archetype that embodies the qualities of fierceness and empowerment. Inhale, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior, right arm down, left arm up, stretching through the side body, the obliques, keeping a deep bend in the front knee. Inhale, find length. And exhale, straighten the front leg. Send the arms back to center. Inhale, parallel your feet. And exhale, wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana, hinge at the hips. Dive down. You can invite some gentle swaying into the torso, the chest. And further inhale, I'm facing the wrong way, so I'm actually gonna come and face you guys, but you stay in the wide-legged forward fold. And then bring the hands onto your hips and slowly lift the chest up. and arrive at center. And we're going to do a little flowing here. Inhale, arms up, extending through all of the limbs, creating this X shape with the body, trying to access the tip of your fingers, the tips of your toes, where you're planting in with your heels, how you're broadening through the collarbones, the chest, the shoulders. And exhale, bend the knees, come into a squat, hands at heart center. And you can do a little wiggling here, left to right, right to left. And then bring the hands onto the inside seams of your legs. So we're using that point of contact to kind of open up the legs even further if that feels good. And then we're going to do some twisting. So really actively pressing the right palm into the right leg and twisting the chest towards the left. Noticing what that feels like. Threading the awareness throughout the sensation. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist towards the right, pressing with the left arm into the inside seam of the left leg, right ribs over, left ribs under. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Parallel the feet. Let the head hang. Recalibrate. Come back to your breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Reset your spine. Exhale, low lunge back towards the front. Inhale, left leg comes back to meet the right. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, cobra. Skip it. And exhale, downward facing dog, hips high, heels low. And at this point in the class, I'd like to leave at least a little space to always remember that we are here practicing together. And it's harder to remember when you can't see the person next to you or you can't hear them breathing. But knowing that we are in this individual journey and process, uniquely, it's all our own, but also we're practicing as a collective. And I think that's what makes yoga such a powerful practice. We don't all have to arrive at the same place, but we can support each other along the way. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, right leg lifts. Reach, extend the right leg behind you. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrist. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right knee, left tricep. Pause here. Kick the right leg out, coming into fallen star. Dropping the left ankle down, rooting through the right palm, and opening up. Actively pressing through the right palm and lifting the hips. Inhale here. Exhale, plant the left palm. Inhale, come back to three-legged dog, right leg lifts. And exhale, step it through, low lunge. Feet are on separate tracks. Drop the back knee down. Inhale, grounded crescent, arms up, chest lifts. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you. Chest presses forward. Bring the palms to your lower back. Lift the chest, come into a gentle back bend. Exhale, drop the arms by your side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, frame the front foot. Inhale, tuck under your toes. Exhale, engage the back leg. Inhale, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, arms up, chest lifts. Exhale, open up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana. Inhale, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior, stretching through the side body, lengthening. Exhale, straighten the front leg, level your chest. Inhale, parallel the feet. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Let the chest hang. Inhale, halfway lift, reset the spine. Exhale, low lunge back to the front. Inhale, right leg comes back to meet the left. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, cobra. Exhale, down dog, hips high, heels low. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, left leg lifts. Reach, extend the left leg behind. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Extend the left leg out long, coming into fallen star. Pressing actively through the left palm, right arm goes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, plant the right palm. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg lifts. And exhale, step it through, low lunge. Feet are on separate tracks. Left leg is forward, right leg is back. Drop the back knee down. Untuck the back toes. Inhale, grounded crescent, arms up, chest lifts. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you, press the chest forward. Bring your hands to your lower back and gently come into the gentle back bend. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release the arms at your sides. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, frame the front foot, plant the palms. Inhale, tuck under your back toes. Exhale, engage the back leg. Inhale, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, arms up, chest lifts. Exhale, open up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana. Inhale, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior, stretching through the side body, the obliques. Exhale, straighten the front leg, level the chest. Inhale, parallel your feet. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Let the head hang. Tailbone is reaching up towards the ceiling. Noticing the mat under your feet. How are you distributing the weight in your feet? Inhale, halfway lift, reset your spine. Exhale, low lunge back towards the front. Inhale, left leg comes back to meet the right. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, cobra. And exhale, press back. Downward facing dog, hips high, heels low. We're gonna go ahead and flow that one more time, but I am gonna cut out a few things, so it's gonna be a little different. Inhale, look to the front. Exhale, move there, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift, reset your spine. Exhale, fold, hinge. Inhale, Utkatasana, fierce pose, awkward chair. Exhale, fold, dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, reset the vertebrae. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. And even beyond the identities that we uphold, also the identities that we might project during our yoga practice might be different than what we experience in our regular day-to-day. So noticing those as well, and remembering this is a practice, this is your practice, and there's no way that it really has to be. And the way that you're doing it is correct. There is no form or mold that we're trying to embody here. Yoga is a practice of embodiment and power to the self. So honoring that in this practice. Inhale, right leg lifts. Reach, extend the right leg behind you. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right knee, left tricep. Hover and come into fallen star, kicking the right leg out, coming down the outside edge of the left foot. Left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Inhale here. Exhale, plant the left palm. Inhale, come into three-legged dog. Reach, extend the right leg behind you. Exhale, send the right leg forward, come into low lunge. Taking a moment to calibrate here and find stability. Inhale, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, arms up, chest lifts. Exhale, open up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana. Inhale, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior, stretching through the side body, the obliques, keeping a deep bend in the front knee. Exhale, cartwheel your arms and flow your version of high to low. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, lion's breath, in through the nose. Exhale, HA, tongue out. Seal the lips. Inhale, in through the nose. Exhale, out through the nose. Left side, last time. Inhale, left leg lifts. Reach, extend the left leg behind you. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Hover, pause. Come into fallen star. Kick the left leg out. Roll into the outside edge of the right foot. Right fingertips up. Inhale, find length. Press to the left palm. Exhale, plant the right palm. Inhale, three-legged dog. Reach, extend the left leg behind you. Find stability in your palms. Exhale, step it through. Low lunge. Take a moment to set it up. Left leg is forward, right leg is back. How can you practice being grounded? Inhale, crescent lunge. Anjaneyasana, arms up, chest lifts. Exhale, open up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana. Inhale, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior. Stretching through the side body, the obliques, the ribs. And exhale, cartwheel your arms. And flow your version of high to low. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Lion's breath. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale, HA, tongue out. We'll do one more of those. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale, HA. Release. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. And go ahead and come to all fours into a tabletop position. And we're going to thread. We're going to practice gomukhasana, or shoelace. So we're going to thread. I'm going to move my left hand so you can see. I'm going to thread the left leg behind my right leg, crossing them. And maybe bringing the shins a little wider out. And then sinking the hips back. I'm going to move up here, sinking the hips back. So arriving in this form, it's called gomukhasana, or cow face pose, a lot of times in a vinyasa class. Right leg is over the left thigh. If you're experiencing pain in the bottom knee, extend that leg out. It's going to relieve that pain, and we're still going to get a lot of the same benefits of the practice. If you're experiencing pain in the top knee, you can put like a book there, or a pillow or something, a blanket, a towel. Otherwise, kind of arriving here.
Greta.
And if you happen to have like a sock or a sweatshirt or a t-shirt around you, I thought we would actually practice gomukhasana. So I've got this strap here. It's actually a like an American Apparel hair tie that I use for my yoga mat. So I'm going to use that. So bring that up with your right arm and let that kind of dangle behind you. And then with the left arm, grab for the bottom of whatever it is that you've rummaged for in your apartment. And take a moment to arrive here. And one side does tend to be a little more, one side I can access a little more easily than the other side. This for me, I think, is the side that I'm a little more limber. And just noticing what it feels like in the shoulders. An option to be here, like this is absolutely plenty. Or option if you would like to fold forward. And finding the limit, knowing that there's a place where you want to push up against, but also honoring where there's a boundary that your body has put in place for you, honoring the edge. We never want to cause any pain, sharp stabbing sensations, or like electrical currents. You want to avoid any of that. And maybe you can kind of rest your chin on top of your knee. And slowly lift the chest up and release the bind, the grip that you've taken. And we're going to do a little bit of a gentle twist. Bring the left hand on top of the left thigh. And bring the right hand behind you like a kickstand. And then twist towards the right. And you can adjust where the left hand is. You can use that point of contact to help you twist even further. Inhale here. Exhale here. And you can swivel the head back towards center, swivel the chest, do a little counter movement towards the left side. And come back to center. And we're going to do a gentle lateral side stretch. So option to plant the right palm and bring the left arm up, or option to plant the right forearm and bring the left bicep by your ear, really stretching through the side body. And come back to center. Option to plant the left palm or come onto the left forearm. Right arm is up, bicep is by the ear. Right ribs are opening up towards the right, left ribs are under, even if it's a smaller extension than what you could do like in a twist and side angle, still accessing that same intention. And then come back to center. And bring the arms behind you and undo the legs and come back into tabletop. And we're going to go ahead and do that on the other side. So this time we want the left leg on top, so we're going to thread the right leg behind. Can create a little more distance, opening in the shins. And then let the hips sink back. And adjust here as is necessary. You might need to extend the bottom leg. Might need to put a prop in between the legs. And we'll do gomukhasana on this side, our cow face pose. This leg variation is called shoelace in yin. So this time with the left arm, bringing that up and letting it dangle behind you, holding your prop or sock or t-shirt, whatever it is you've grabbed. And then with the right hand, grab the bottom part of that prop or whatever you've rummaged for in your apartment and found to make that connection. Props are really just a way of extending our arms or getting the surface to meet the body in a more accessible way. So always embracing the usage of props if they're going to help you out. This for me is the tighter side. I feel a lot tighter here. So that might be the case for you. Maybe you feel a little more open. Option to be here or option to slowly let the chest fall down. Inviting a rounding sensation is okay here, as long as you don't have a slip disc. If you do have a slip disc, it's actually better to actively straighten the spine. If you're not worried about that, inviting the roundness in, maybe forehead meets the knee. And slowly lift the chest back up, release the bind. And we'll practice twisting on this side. Bring your right palm to meet the left thigh and bring the left hand behind you near the base of the spine. And using the right arm as a point of leverage if you'd like to help twist the body towards the left. Inhale here. Exhale. And go ahead, swivel the head, swivel the chest back towards center. Take a counter twist. And then we'll quickly move into the lateral flexion on both sides. This time plant the left palm or the left forearm. Bring the right arm up, stretching to the side body, the obliques. And come back to center. Plant the right palm or the right forearm. Left arm, left bicep comes by the ear, and finding the lengthening and stretching sensation that activates things most for you. It's going to be a little different for everyone. And then come back to center. Bring the palms behind you, unthread the legs. And we are going to end class there. And so we did twisting kind of in a different way. So come to lane on your back. Bringing the knees in towards your chest. You can even roll around on the sacrum, the lower back. Sometimes that feels really nice. And bringing the soles of the feet to touch and threading the fingers around the toes. It's actually kind of like being in child's pose, but you're on your back. And noticing the point of contact between the sacrum and the mat, the whole spine, resting. And then bringing the knees back towards center. You can wrap the arms around the shins, giving yourself an embrace here. And then release into Shavasana. Final rest, extending the limbs long, letting them fall down. There's always different ways you can take Shavasana. You can take it in more of a fetal position. You can take it on your belly. You can grab a blanket. You can grab a cat or a dog. And we'll be here for a couple of minutes. I'll let you know when it's time to come up and out of the practice. And today, as an offering, there's a meditation app that I'm sure a lot of you have used or at least heard about. It's called One Giant Mind. And honestly, it really invited a meditation practice into my life. I found it to be a very valuable tool. It's transcendental meditation. And the mantra they use in that app is aham. And so if you just want to use that word over and over again, aham, in your mind, it might get fast. It might slow down. You might not even recognize it for a second. Repeating the words aham over and over again in your mind. And if the mind wanders, bring it back. And that is the practice of meditation, is returning and beginning again. You can invite subtle movements back into your toes, fingers, wiggling of the shoulders, gentle swaying left or right, scrunching of the face maybe, wiggle the nose. And extend the arms above you like you would if you stretched in the morning. And bring the knees towards your chest. And you can choose to roll to the right, maybe for more action, solar power, or left for more lunar, more yielding and allowing. And using the bicep like a pillow. And taking a moment to cultivate self-gratitude for doing this practice. Listening to the body, pushing up against physical limits, and respecting boundaries where they are. And also doing the mental discipline of this practice. Patanjali says yoga is a science of the mind, and I really have found that also to be true in my practice. Using this as a field to cultivate awareness and empowerment. So when you are in other environments, you can access that and choose responses instead of reactions. And also honoring the lineage of this practice, where it comes from in India, and its thread to Hindu tradition, really ancient practice. I think goes back to all the way 300 AD and even before that. And also honoring the territory in which we occupy, the Duwamish, if you're in Seattle at least, Salish too. And honoring your teachers, your experiences, and valuing your process, knowing that there is nowhere else that you're supposed to be, that this is it. And you can gently press yourself up to a seat. You can keep the eyes closed and finding length in the spine and the grounding in the tail. And we'll meet with hands at heart center in this gesture or mudra that represents non-dualism, where you can think of it like a positive and a negative force or magnets, and how that magnetism brings them to touch at heart center, or where these oppositional forces are eventually bound together. And bringing hands from heart center, where the heart mind resides, the chitta, and then threading that to third eye, the seat of your intuition and imagination and vision. And bowing forward to seal in your practice, honoring our shadows and honoring where we are luminous. Namaste, peace, thank you. And I'm gonna go ahead and come up there, unmute, take off the mic, and we can, if you're interested, seal class together with 3 ohms.